Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a process and a practice called It's Totally Possible. Now, this practice was developed through Kyle Cease, and it's something I was exposed to, I don't know, maybe about 10, 11 months ago. And I've used it quite often, and it's been really amazing and helpful in my ability to let go of ideas and open up and welcome what could be something new and possible into my life. So it's a really basic formula that you follow, and really you can't mess it up. And if you're nervous, then just, one thing that you can even start with is it's totally possible I'm gonna fuck this up. And it's totally possible that it's absolutely okay, right? So the first thing you say is it's totally possible. And then you take a leap. You take a leap into perhaps the unknown or places that you feel are dark. Maybe you have a situation in your life that doesn't feel comfortable, and you can say, it's totally possible that I can be with this situation in my life in a way where I can open up and see it in a new way. It's totally possible that I can embrace the fear that I have, and suddenly I can see the situation in a new light. It's totally possible that we are all in this together, and this person I'm having a conflict with, they want a good resolution too. So you just jump in. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. You can build on that, and you can lead into a whole new story of your life if you want, that you had blocked off or you couldn't imagine before. Or you can really stick with something very internal, like it's totally possible for me to be in the now, to recognize the beauty in this moment. It's totally possible that what I see as challenges are actually really opportunities. It's totally possible that things are really working for my good. It's totally possible that now I am opening to see how they can be for my good, right? It's totally possible that a bounty of goodness wants to be in my life. And it's totally possible that now I am welcoming it in, right? So we have a lot of ways that we can work with It's Totally Possible. I'm going to insert a video of an interview I do with my twin Grace, and how really it served her to use this technique. And it's really, really cool how it's kind of been an amazing tool for her to open up and step into seeing things in new ways. So I'm going to include that here. Also, at the end, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to give you a way to do It's Totally Possible that can just blow your mind and just really help open the doors to things. Hello, everyone out there. I'm sitting here with my twin, Grace. Say hi.
Hi.
And I wanted to share with you what It's Totally Possible, like how that it affected Grace in her life. It was funny, we were on a trip to Hawaii, and we were just chatting with a lady, and I shared It's Totally Possible, and Grace was like, what? This is cool. And so did you share it from then on? Did you just start doing it in the morning? Is that what happened?
Yeah, usually, it was a good thing to do in the morning because, I was dealing with a lot of challenging stuff and, was trying to find incentive to get up.
To rise from the bed in the morning.
To rise. So what I usually did it in the morning, but then sometimes I would do it during the day if I hit up against a wall. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, or I'd find myself going through a thinking pattern that was negative or so forth. Sometimes I would do it then. And the first time I did it, it felt a little uncomfortable.
The Totally Possible. Was
Yeah.
that when we were in Hawaii and you were like, this feels weird? kind of
Yeah,
a thing?
that must have been it. I can't remember when I started it. So if you remember, that's great.
Yeah.
But at first, and the thing was, oh, that's right. And the thing was, is that Gwen kind of pushed me to like think really wacky, like way out there. And then it became like a game, like, oh my gosh, let's see what wacky scenarios we can come up with, right?
Yeah.
And
Like aliens.
yeah,
and,
like aliens and
unicorns
and maybe the volcano will explode or whatever, whatever,
Yeah.
So then, what it did was it really started bringing more of an ease to my life, and gave me permission to kind of just explore, and just see what was going to happen. Hey, let's find out. And that was really important for me because I can really get like rigid sometimes, and so that was really helpful. And we even like forced the kids to do it once when we were in the car. And
Grace likes to put her kids in situations and try to get them to experience things.
Well, the point is,
I guess what moms do, right?
Yeah, well, the car, they're trapped, So, I was doing it and I was trying to get them involved, and they were just like, And finally, one of my children chimed in with something.
Yeah.
And then when we got home, the thing happened that they thought was not going to happen. They're like, oh, okay, we're going to find, blah, blah, blah. I came home and almost immediately found what they had been looking for months and months, right? So, and then I got them to recognize, oh yeah, remember, it did come to, and they were like, oh yeah. So, sometimes things started happening that we had said, oh, it's entirely possible, blah, blah, blah. And so then I started actually using it more for my own internal things and thoughts, recognizing some of those struggles I was having like, it's entirely possible that I belong here,
Yeah.
And then you can start getting a little bit more personal with it. And at that point, then you can start doing affirmations that you actually can somewhat believe. Affirmations, it's hard to do them when you're like, yeah, right, but when you've let your brain be open to possibilities and you've said it enough, then your brain is willing to accept, oh, maybe this can be.
Yeah.
And at that point, then you can, bring in some affirmations and so forth that probably wouldn't have been as effective if you had just tried to like, I'm going to do these affirmations that I don't really believe type thing.
Yeah, because instead of hitting up against a wall, your mind is kind of already, the wheel is moving. It's getting used to moving and seeing like, oh, there's an agility here. There's some kind of play here that actually is happening, and things aren't as strict as the box that I told myself reality was.
Yeah, totally. And it really did help me with that because there were some really frustrating situations. I was dealing with some really tough stuff, and to just be able to just practice even thinking about it in a different way, really, it's freeing.
Yeah.
It's freeing. And so, allowing my brain to do that and encouraging it to do that was really helpful for me to be able to find other things also that were helpful for me because I was open. I was open to, and I had more of an attitude of like, ooh, what am I going to discover next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen? And when you can practice that mentality, then overall you're going to be able to recognize the blessings and the things and wisdom and knowledge and things and experiences that come into your life that can help you. But if you're not, and you're closed off and you're so focused on the world is unjust, or this isn't right, or whatever, then you're not going to be as open to those blessings that can come into your life.
Yeah. And I think that's really key because I remember I consider myself a little bit more woo-woo out there. Probably considered Grace is kind of a little bit more set in kind of a rational setting here. And I think perhaps maybe that actually opened you up even a little bit more to like I introduced Grace to Paul Selig and a few other things. And I think that having that, it's totally possible
kind of helped you listen, even
Yeah.
consider
Oh,
like
yeah.
something, because
Yeah.
I think sometimes we really can get in an ingrained system that says, oh, you know, that didn't make sense to me a long time ago. Why would I put myself through it now?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
would I consider it? But
Yeah.
like having that openness, I think, is a really good thing.
It is. So that's, I think it's been beneficial. And even though I've been doing some other things, actually, I think it was yesterday, you know, and I've done it off and on, is do that again when I find myself kind of in that stuck place, you know, or whatever, and allow myself to just say, you know, it's entirely possible, blah, 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 you know, just to kind of open myself up again.
Yeah. All right, let's do this ourselves. Let's do some It's Totally Possible, right? Sit back in your chair and just breathe in whatever kind of air you've got, right? And you can just tap in, and whatever comes out of that mouth of yours is perfect, right? Now, I'm going to just go into myself and really just let anything I want come out. It's totally possible that this idea of this unicorn is actually me in my life. This idea of this unicorn that's exploring, that's on this crusade of creativity, of seeing that divine spark and experiencing it, is me. It's totally possible that that unicorn, I can see it jump over this white fence in front of me into this yard, and we can play and have a ball. It's totally possible that it can take me to a ride to Hawaii, and I'm going to talk to that volcano there, and it's going to say beautiful things to me. In fact, it'll have a volcano song that I will learn, and I'll talk in volcano. And it's totally possible it will help me find the most perfect home for me in that area. And then it will say, hey, where else do you want to live, Gwen? Where else do you want to live? And I'm like, let's head to Europe. Let's go to Scotland. Let's go to Ireland. Let's visit it all and see what calls, right? And we just go and we travel and we find the most magical places that I want to live and be. And so I just travel the world, and you know, I'll be someplace for a month or two, part of the year, someplace for 5-6 months, and people will come and experience the magic of that space that we create together. It's totally possible that I will be able to experience the growth and the beauty of the land and the plants and the sea life in a way I've never known, that I can swim with the dolphins, that I can know the turtles, that I can be with the whales and know the beauty that's there and feel the resonance in my body and soul. It's totally possible that all of this can happen right here and now. Like that me feeling this is a part of it's happening, that it's being expressed right now. It's totally possible that all of you are like, yes, hell yes, let's go on that trip, Gwen. Let's do this thing. And it's totally possible that you're going to contact me. You're going to say, let's do this trip, Gwen. Let's go to Ireland. Let's find these magical places. Let's go meditate and play together, right? All of this is totally possible. Well, I hope you have fun with your It's Totally Possible. Let me know if there's any questions you have, or if you just want to riff with me, right? I love that. Feel free to leave comments. Feel free to subscribe, get notifications, share, anything. I love all your support. It's been such a blessing to me. And let's do this thing together.